Am I audible? Visible?
Yes,
Yeah,
loud and clear.
sure.
I hope I'm audible, right?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Okay. Yeah. So, just to give you a little background about myself, so I have been 3.5 years a leadership hiring consultant, worked with a lot of Fortune 500 organizations, different industries, also include BPO, IT, ATS, BFSI, right? I
Mm-hmm.
would not term the names because I've already worked with the best in the industry, but I'll just be
Mm-hmm.
then then I then I've dropped the profile and I started this organization, Une Consultancy Services. It
Okay.
was in 2021
Mm-hmm.
Feb that we started. We from since then we have been working in manufacturing and big conglomerate. I would term one of them, Adani Enterprises Limited, is one my because the client which I am currently for the different uh, places like cement, ports, and that includes everything like which includes finance, F&A, BPO kind of roles as well because we hire for Tech Mahindra and the other BPOs as well. I'll
Mm-hmm.
not name a few because you are the master of that, but I
Right,
would not
right.
term much of
It's
that, right?
better if you don't name them because then this video is being recorded, so I don't want their names to be going
Sure,
public.
sure, Nihar. So Nihar, I guess I just wanted to pounce off an idea that I was looking out for some manufacturing or clients which are in bigger in terms of like say someone who's a conglomerate, right? Like I've been working with one of them, right? And then I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to tap some others where I can work for their corporate offices, wherein we are looking towards their main functions like finance, HR, legal, compliance. Then sales is one of them because we have been predominantly working at recently in sales
Mm-hmm.
for different organizations across pan India, right?
Okay.
We are in inception in one of the Indian BFSI as well, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just an inception mode. So we
Mm-hmm.
have not materialized something at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I did got your email in the month of August, right?
Right.
You gave me two options, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
more pretty interested in the second option, which I already mentioned, message to you, and then
Correct.
that's the only reason we are on the call at the moment,
Correct.
yeah.
Correct. Correct.
So love to know a few things about you.
Sure. See, basically, I started off my journey in 2011. So since then,
Right.
I have been associated with recruitment. Initially, I used to, look more towards the operational part and, basically
Mm-hmm.
client engagement, closing the
Right.
position, having a
Right.
team under me of recruiters and getting the profiles closed and stuff like that. But later
Right.
on, then I moved more towards, I
Mm.
would say the services which will help a consulting firm to build. Reason being that these are the
Right.
problems which I faced as when
Mm.
I was running a consulting firm. So there are two major
Right.
challenges which I used to face. One is new client acquisition. So that is like
Right.
a very common challenge which I faced. So for that, we provided two services. One is individual single lead, and one is dedicated lead generation. I think I have dropped you an email for both of the services.
Right.
And the second service is what we provide is in the operations side. So in operations, what happens is once you onboard a client, one client will
Right.
have multiple requirements. Now, this is not
Right.
something which is going to be constant. Sometimes they
Right.
will have a lot of requirements. Sometimes it will happen that there is a dry time wherein they
Right.
don't have enough requirements. So what we built
That's
something
myth of
called,
our industry. That's
sorry,
myth of our industry. That's a myth of our industry, right? So certain times there will be requirements,
correct,
and
correct.
certain times there will be no
It's going to
requirements.
be a part and parcel of this industry anyways. So for that,
Right.
we developed something called hiring rewards. Now, hiring reward solves a problem of operations. So if you have clients and if you just want to close some more positions with the client, so I have had discussions with some of the consulting firms who have had a top line. Top line means the number of open positions they had was
Mm.
approximately 3 to 5 CR on top line.
Okay.
But they were able
Mm.
to close only 1 or 2% of that. Reason being because they can't immediately increase the team size what they have,
Right.
and they can't hire free recruiters on immediate level. Like they need to have a recruitment process and stuff like that, wherein a recruiter comes in, then they give an interview, then they have a joining date, and at the last moment they said that we can't join today. Then again repeat the process and stuff
Right.
like that. To overcome this challenge, we have developed hiring rewards. So I'm sure that
Mm.
this is not the challenge with you, right? You don't face
Right.
problem with operations. You are facing problems with client acquisition.
Client acquisition. Right.
Correct.
Right.
So there are two
That's my
options.
bit.
Yeah. So this in the second option, what you have chosen, it's a dedicated lead generation services. In this process, what we basically do is we sit down with you, wherein we find out what is your requirement. Now, how do we find out about these clients, what you're looking for? So there is a tool on sales called Sales Navigator in LinkedIn. You log in into
LinkedIn.
Sales Navigator, it will give you all the filter criteria what they have. So basically, you get to choose their based on the industry, based on the location, based on turnover. If any of the
Hmm.
startup who has received a funding recently, any company who's rapidly increasing headcount in a particular department for like sales department or some technical department or whatever it is. So on the
Right.
basis of that, we take out a list of say approximately 1,000 companies for you.
Hmm.
We use another tool called Snow.io. Now Snow.io, what it does is LinkedIn will be very slow. If we actually go through LinkedIn by sending an email and
Right.
stuff like that, it will be very slow. Second is it will have a lot of boundaries. Like you can send only these many invitations. You can do only this
Hmm.
thing through Sales Navigator and stuff like that.
Right.
What Snow.io does is once you have a list of those 1,000 companies ready, you will be able to identify, you will be able to extract the email address of the HR team of that organization. Once we extract that email addresses of the organization, then we start the mass mailing process, wherein we tell them that, okay, we have these companies where we will be representing your consulting firm.
Right.
We are this consulting firm. We happen to see these requirements in your organization. Would you be open to hire through a recruitment agency? The moment they say
Right.
yes, we are open to hire through a recruitment agency, we will conduct a meeting with you, with the HR manager, and one of my team member will be available in the meeting. Then
Right.
you speak to the HR directly. What is the kind of requirement what they have? What is the percentage they want to close the requirement at and stuff like that. Once that part is clear, then we will hand over you all the details of their contact details like email addresses, phone number, and stuff like that. Then you can coordinate with the client directly. So this is
Okay.
how a dedicated lead generation works.
Right. Right. And what was the first one? That is one
That is,
client which you.
yeah. So basically, in the dedicated lead generation process, whatever client you get, for example, you hire our services, you get a particular client, but that is not fitting your criteria. But we have already
Right.
done the meeting, we have already, had our interaction, so we know what is the kind of requirement the company has.
Right.
Once you tell me that, okay, Nihar, see, this is the client what we have, but he's signing the contract at 6%, and we don't want to work at 6%. Or
Right.
they are asking for 2 months, or three more than 3 months notice replacement period and stuff like that. These are the
Right.
terms and conditions what we are not agreeing to. Once you
Right.
reject that, that means that is not useful to you. So these kind of requirements, we sell it out in the open market. We post it on LinkedIn and stuff like that. Whoever is a
Right.
consulting firm who can't afford to hire this services through us, if that is the criteria, what is fitting their requirement. For example,
Hmm.
if a client says that, okay, we are open to work at 5%, you say we are clearly not can't work at 5%,
Right.
right? So in that case, we will post it on LinkedIn saying that, okay, we have this client, this is the strength, these are the kind of requirements what we discussed. They are willing to sign the contract at this percentage. Would whoever is interested to work can just post your email address. I'll send you the details. If it fits your requirement, then you can make the payment of 5,000 rupees and you can take the lead from us.
Right.
So that is the
Okay.
first, which is called individual lead. And the thing what I explained you earlier is the dedicated lead, wherein we will understand your requirement, we'll find the client as per your requirement. In the first option, you don't have a choice. Like you have a thing ready. If it fits,
Right.
then it's fine. If it does not fit, then somebody else will take it any which ways.
So, Nihar, currently you're doing some dedicated lead generation for some organizations at the moment. Like,
There are
what is the
multiple.
success rate like?
Sorry.
What
See,
is the
on
success
average
rate?
success rate would be approximately 4 to 5 new clients you will be getting. out of which
Hmm.
only one or two will convert. Convert as in they will give you business. Business everybody will give, but with whom
Right.
you will be able to close and how many billings you will generate and stuff like that. That will be only one or two
Okay.
clients.
Okay. And what is the charges for this particular dedicated lead generation?
So I'll just give you a breakup. LinkedIn Sales Navigator will cost you approximately 6,000 to 7,000 rupees.
Okay. Fair.
Snow Ivy will cost you approximately 17,000 rupees.
Mm-hmm.
So 17 plus 7 is 22, and we will be charging 15,000 rupees as a service fees.
Approximately 37,000, right?
Approximately
Approximately
37 to 40,000 rupees per month. Approximately,
40,000.
but I'll give you an exact breakup when I go on the website because
And
dollar rates keeps changing. So accordingly, my payment
right,
is like that.
right. I got it. And what will be the period for this? Like, is there any
Minimum
period?
what we recommend is 3 months.
Okay. So this is for 3 months or this is per month, right?
This is
This is the
per
per
month.
month.
The costing
This
what
is
I
per
have
month.
given is for per month because
Okay. Per
these
month.
tools are also monthly. Like you take
Okay.
Snow IV subscription. Today you started, next 19th it will get over. Then again you'll have to renew it. Again you'll have to renew it like
Got it. And let's suppose that if we do an aggressive campaigning of lead generation and we go very bluntly, because let's suppose that we take it for 3 months
that.
and we start from November, right? November, December, and January, right?
Hmm.
So what do you feel that the turn up which you mentioned that there can be two clients, right?
Correct.
That is per month or that is the entire three
No,
months?
no,
What do you
that is
feel?
per month, but initial 45 days, see, initial 45 to 60 days, it will be like first 15 days though. We will have to
Hmm.
rouse your email accounts because we will be creating Gmail accounts and we will be doing mass mailing through that. So that
Right.
when we send out, when we set up mass mailing campaigns, it does not end up into a spam folder of HR manager.
Absolutely.
So those
Absolutely.
15 days are not calculated. After that,
Mhm.
approximately 45 days, you will start getting the results. So you can catch the first client you would be getting through this model would be only after 60 days, nothing before that. I mean, if you get
Right.
before that, then it's my duty to inform you. But usually it takes 45 to 60 days to start getting the leads from this model altogether.
Okay. And Nihar, if I want to ask you that, I know that you mentioned that the requirement will be from my side, and then we will be going about it that how we will tap those clients, right?
Right.
Let's suppose that my interest area is non-IT,
Mhm.
because I'm not interested to hire in IT positions.
Okay.
Normally, जब IT का भी काम आता है, so I have a bigger vendor in Delhi,
Hmm.
who is one of my cousins only, and he
Correct.
runs his own consultancy, right? So I
Right.
bounce it off to him that you do it and we divide the revenue. That's
Correct.
how he does. If he
Correct.
has any senior position, he gives to me, and then that's how we club together, right?
Correct.
But if I'm interested in non-IT, how do you look as a market for non-IT in the next 3 months?
See,
If with all your experience,
no,
I'm just
right now, non-IT is performing better than IT. So yesterday only
right.
I received a list of requirements wherein people are
Hmm.
aggressively hiring for non-IT because right
Hmm.
now IT, if you also know in the market that
Hmm.
recession has already hit and the
Uh,
requirements have stopped coming to the
Coming.
consulting firm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
even if it's there, then it is very less. Like if somebody used to give them
Hmm.
say 15 requirements, right now they're giving only 3 or 4 open positions to
Three
work
or four.
on and stuff like that. And that too, they are to
Absolutely.
save cost, they are trying to do it internally.
Right.
Right? So IT has a very, I would say, very volatile uh,
Right.
IT is very volatile in terms of hiring because when
Right.
they hire aggressively, and when
Hmm.
they don't hire at all. Wherein
Right.
non-IT, when we talk about pharmaceutical or any manufacturing industry, it
Right.
is more like a certain thing. Like it it hires, but they have a slower way of hiring people. They take their own sweet time to close the position and
But
stuff.
I guess the business is constant, right? So the business is not very
Yes,
hitting
yes,
business
correct,
because you would not have that volatility in non-IT
correct.
in terms of IT, right? So IT. ID your client can come and say, okay, everything is on freeze, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
from
yeah,
tomorrow,
yeah.
there's no hiring
In
going on.
manufacturing, that won't be a case. I don't think so. Any
No.
manufacturing client will come and say the hiring is on freeze. They will have like one or two requirements going on saying that purchase head,
Hmm.
production head, this
Hmm.
requirement or accountings or something or the other is going on like that. At the same time, the
Right.
operation rate is also very low in
Hmm.
non-IT because when once somebody joins a non-IT organization, like say manufacturing industry, they don't tend to
Right.
switch their jobs very often. Wherein IT, mein,
Yes.
it's a different scenario wherein somebody joins within 6 months, he'll be looking for a job change. So
Right.
everything has its pros and cons, but right now IT is very low, to be very frank,
Right.
and right
Right.
now everybody is technically focusing on non-IT.
Non-IT. And Nihar, since how long you have been doing this lead generation and
Yes, I have been doing
recruitment?
since 2014-15.
14, 15. Okay.
So initially
And
my model was different. Initially I used to work on profit sharing. But
right, right, right,
when you work on profit sharing, then the seriousness of other person does not come. Like my job is to get a client. But if I pass
right.
on to a recruitment agency, they'll be like, "No, my recruiter is on holiday and stuff like that." So my effort is going waste, right? As a lead
The
generation
dedication
part,
doesn't come in. Yeah.
yeah. So as a lead generation person, my job is to get a client. After that, how you close the
Right,
position is should not be my lookout. So then I
right.
changed this model in say 2018-19. Initially, I worked on a different model wherein I used to make a bunch of 4 5 recruitment agency and I used to share the clients with all and stuff like that. But then also there are big consulting firms, they are not very keen on taking those kind of services. So then now
Right.
this thing is constant since 2019, wherein there are two plans. One is the if you take a dedicated plan, you reject the client,
Hmm.
that goes for a individual lead generation. Whoever wants to
Hmm.
purchase can purchase. And
Hmm.
if you want to keep it, then you continue talking with the client and go ahead with it.
Okay. And what is the charges for, let's suppose कि किसी ने reject कर दिया and I want to take that client
Mm-hmm.
at the moment. What
Mm-hmm.
will be the charges like in that
5,000.
particular instance? 5,000.
Correct. No
So
fixed
one client
charges.
5,000
Correct. 5,000 for one client.
per hire.
For not per hire. In
Okay.
5,000 rupees, I'll arrange a meeting. You speak
Okay.
with the client. I'll share
Right.
exchange the contact details of that client. My job will
Hmm.
end there. Then you continue working with that client.
Okay. Got it. So we can parallelly use both, right? So
But if
should
you're
not be.
taking the dedicated one, then there is no point of taking
Hmm.
the first one.
Hmm. Hmm.
It doesn't serve any purpose. Rather
Right.
than don't take the second one, opt for only first one.
Right. So
See,
that's
for me, it's
that's
a
on
more
my
advantage. Yeah, it's advantage. It's an advantage for me if you're taking both. But I'm saying if you're taking the second one, what's the point of taking the first one?
right.
मतलब
And
that is
मैं
rejected
समझता हूँ
lead from
वो मैं
somebody
समझ गया
else. So
हाँ
why you want to take it?
somebody else right
Yeah.
right and any in your experience right I'm just asking you this would be one question which is out of the line but I just want to
Oh,
ask you that
yes, yes.
um, anywhere you have closed a lead which involved a Tata anywhere
No.
any Tata client.
Not till now. I mean, I have had, it was not a lead. Basically, he was already working with the IT company of
Hmm.
them, and they tied up with them as a sub vendor. I did it for free. I did not charge anything in the middle. But then, yeah, that is something. But nowhere I have got associated with Tata directly.
Okay, fair enough because see, my if I am moving towards non-IT and if I want to move into that manufacturing and BPO kind
Hmm.
of a
Hmm.
setup, right? Because most of the business come from, if I talk about non-IT, it is more about BPO than FNA hiring is something which is bread and butter for any other
Correct.
consultancy, right?
Correct.
And then in manufacturing,
Hmm.
I would love to target Tata, right? So that's one
Hmm.
thing which
See,
I
my
have in my mind.
in my experience, see, I'll tell you when I got associated when we did the whole dealing and stuff like that. Tata has a very strict. I mean, any 500 Fortune companies plus Fortune companies, if we talk about, they have a very strict, what do you call it, like a criteria what they are looking for. So when
Hmm.
they were hiring for TCS, they
Hmm.
were specifically looking for a vendor who should have minimum 2 CR turnover in the previous financial
Hmm.
year. So continuously like 1.5 previous to that and 1 crore
I
previous to that.
मैं
Then a
टीसीएस को हाथ
minimum,
मैं तो मैंने यार मेरे को टीसीएस के खुद सीनियर लोग जानते हैं बट आई डोंट वांट टू गेट इन्वॉल्व इन दैट
मतलब हाँ
बिकॉज दे
मतलब
आर वेरी
see I
compliance driven organization, right?
हाँ मतलब then I don't see, I never take like a backdoor entry from anyone. My
Right.
thing is very clear that I will be doing email marketing basically for you based on the
Hmm.
client's requirement you are giving me. Whatever clients come in, I'll be giving it to you. My personal
Right.
references or anything like of that sort, I will not be using anywhere. Like
No, no, absolutely. That's
so,
I was just telling you कि मैं टीसीएस के मुझे खुद भी जानते हैं but the only point is that TCS has a very strict policy when it comes to vendor empanelment and
correct.
then
So then that
uh,
is one thing. Then
right.
another is there is another 2,000 or 3,000 agencies were waiting at that point of time. This is 2 to 3 years old story. So then there were a huge line who were waiting to get empaneled with them and stuff like that.
Right.
So
Right.
then somebody got in touch and they worked also, but it was like a sub vendor. So Tata
Sub
used to
they allow now for a new vendor, they only allow a sub vendoring at the moment. That's
correct.
what I came to know one or 2 months back.
Yeah, because
So
that line
my
is so huge that
see
to
my target area would be somewhere about Tata Steel and Tata Motors, right? That's the area which we wanted to touch.
no, but
Any
then
which
in that case, I will not be able to help you because that is too huge an organization to give requirement like that. Our target
way.
audience will always be approximately 500 to 1,000 employees organization
Okay.
because these are the organizations which will give you requirement immediately. They will start working immediately and then
Hmm.
they will close also. When you talk about these kind of organizations, they are too huge to approach.
Right.
Second
Hmm.
is they have a huge waiting period for their consultancy to get empaneled with. Once you get
Right.
empaneled also, then there is too much competition between.
Right.
So then
Nihar,
it won't be
you
possible.
you're sitting in Pune, right? If I'm not wrong,
Correct,
I
correct,
saw it, right?
correct.
So Pune, talking about Mumbai, right? So there are a number of shared services which are set up in Mumbai. When I say shared services, a lot of organizations which have their cost centers in Mumbai or in Delhi NCR or in Bangalore, right?
Mhm,
um and they have their FNA centers because I primarily hire for FNA
mhm,
very strongly for my current clients as well and the shared services which I have in Navi Mumbai,
mhm, mhm.
right? So how about the shared services? Can we target in 3 months the shared services
Yeah,
setup?
shared
Because
services, yeah, those we
yeah,
can BPO,
right. So
KPO,
where
FNA, these kind of companies we can
yeah,
target, not a problem.
yeah, BPO KPOs is then what would be the industry interest area of mine to be there in the in that target list, right? And Nihar, anything else which you wanted to put across? Because then I'll come back to you in a couple of days. I'll discuss with my mentors
Correct.
and then
Yes, yes, yes.
and
Please,
we'll
please.
take a decision and then probably we'll go about it starting from 1st of November,
Sure.
maximum 15th of November, right? So that's
Correct.
because I wanted to
Now then my
either
suggestion
I
would be
wanted to
start post 15th of
Diwali.
April because I think 13th is Diwali.
Yeah, 12th or 13th, right? If I'm
So then
not
start
exactly
post
sure.
15th. Don't start on first
Mhm.
because then everybody will be in that Diwali mode. Then simply these services
No,
will
but
not.
I guess Nihar to come on the same page, right? And to come on the same frequency,
Hmm.
it would take 10 to 12 days कि मुझे क्या चाहिए आप क्या कर सकते हो, right? That will take another 5 7 days, which I
No, that
wanted to
is
save
fine.
because
In
yeah.
that case, what we will do is we will not take the paid services. Reason is the moment you take the
Mhm.
services, right? It will start
Right.
counting your days. Then
Mm.
even if you use the services, you don't use the services, but your money is going like your that
Mm.
time bomb has started. Now it is clicking and it's going
Right.
to get over in 30 days. So during
Right. Right.
that time, what we can do is we can, try out some free services. I'll give you the options at that time. We will
Right.
see and we will make a list and keep it ready by 15th of November. Once you decide that, okay, now we are ready to go, then we will start.
Right. Right. And on the same pretty call, if you have any of a non-IT client, which your any of the client has rejected for
Hmm,
now,
hmm,
right?
hmm, hmm.
And if you want that there can be something, because you might have got some psychology from me that what I'm looking at the moment,
Correct,
right?
correct, correct,
आपको कुछ तो पता लग गया होगा कि मैं क्या चाहता हूँ इस समय.
correct.
So if you think that there is someone, we can have a quick meeting, 1 or 2 meetings, right?
Sure,
And we can close a deal with that client.
sure.
I would be up for that, right?
Not a problem.
For the next 10 days, we can do that. And for dedicated lead generation, most probably if we do it, I
Hmm.
will come back to it in another 10 days. And then if
Sure.
we start from 15th November and then we go very aggressive on that.
Okay. Just speak whenever you're talking to your mentors or whatever it is. Just tell them
Right.
that it's a straightforward investment of 1,20,000 approximately.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I will talk about that only. It's gonna be a 120,
so then
1.2.
how much you recover
Yeah.
and stuff, because they, usually this is the
Hmm.
services which I will not recommend to a company who has less than 20 recruiters working under them.
Yeah.
Usually, like even if somebody is taking it, it's my duty to tell them that if you have less than 20 recruiters working under you, don't take these services. Try out the individual lead one first. See how
Right.
it is working out for you. Because what happens is nowadays I'm not a company which is just charging money from
Hmm.
people and then I want to become billionaire or something like that. If
Right.
I am taking money from you, I really want to solve problem for you. If that is not happening, then
Right.
there is no point me providing any services. So I
So see, I'll be honest with you. I started in 2021, right? And it's not a very big team, 5, 6 recruiters, right?
hmm,
But we only do very refined work. We
correct.
don't go about it, right? So we only
Hmm,
work in a very niche market. If we want to work, we'll only work for the client and the critical roles. It can be costing, it can be controllership roles, it can be head of shared services.
hmm,
I seriously I only work on senior managers. ये मैं छोटा मोटा जो सेल्स की पोजीशंस भी आ जाती हैं वो
hmm.
भी सिर्फ आउट ऑफ रेस्पेक्ट होती हैं कि साहिल आप प्लीज कर दो
Correctly,
इनको. I'll do it,
you have to do it.
right?
Because then you
So
are giving entry to
yeah.
another recruitment agency.
Absolutely. If I'll not do it, then they will
Okay.
come and say, "Here." You see, I already told you one client. It's a big client, right? So you can't say no to that client
Correct.
any day, right? So that is one of my thing. I have less recruiters. I have an extended team in Gurgaon which can
Hmm,
help me out any day,
hmm, hmm,
right? That's not a problem. We
hmm,
have that connect with the Gurgaon team, and they have 50 recruiters.
hmm, hmm,
So putting in numbers will not be a problem any
hmm,
day.
hmm.
But um, getting a good set of clients is something which we might be looking at the moment.
Correct.
That's the only thing which we are looking at.
Correct. Yeah. That could be worked out on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
On we'll have those meetings. So that
Right.
15 days buffer period, what I asked you earlier also, I think if you have gone through
Right.
the email, you must have read that. 15 days
Yes.
we would
Yes.
require just to understand your requirement. I can't do
Absolutely.
it like today you pay me money, tomorrow I'll start working. I don't work that way. So that is
No.
not
No. Absolutely. See, end of the day, requirement gathering and then understanding what we are looking at is
right.
something which is your job, right? And then
Right.
you do it very well, and this goes on like
Correct.
an
It's a
extended
continuous
service, right?
process. Then every
Ah.
month you're converting 1 or 2 clients. You are also growing. I'm
Right.
also getting a permanent
Yeah.
client. So that's a win-win for
Right. That's a win-win situation for both the sides, right? So
correct.
why not, right?
Hmm.
So we'll just think that कि हमने एक recruiter extended hire कर लिया बस.
Correct.
That's how it is. That's how business grows, right?
Correct.
So my take is that for the next 5 to 7 days, if you two things, I have to come back to you on the decision which we want to make, right? On
Hmm.
the dedicated lead generation.
Hmm.
Second, I want any of a non-IT client which has said no to your any of the lead, and if
Correct.
you want to fix meeting with me,
Hmm.
we can discuss about that client in 10 minutes, and then we
Sure, sure.
will decide that we want to go ahead or not, right?
Sure.
Right.
Understood.
Um, Thank you so much, Neha. Thanks for your time, and let's take a decision and let's move around it, right? quickly.
Sure. Not a problem. You can take your time, think about it. Let me know a
Right.
little bit in just drop me a WhatsApp saying that from this
Absolutely.
date we are starting, because then accordingly I'll manage everything
Right.
and keep it ready for you.
And if just from the current batch of clients, if there is some non-IT client looking for some
Yes,
recruitment agency, let's have a conversation with
I'll
them
update you.
once.
I'll update you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Neha. Thanks for your time. Have a great and bye. Take care.